So the week-long basketball competition at the 29th Southeast Asian Games tips off today at the Maba Stadium here in Jalan Hantua, Kuala Lumpur. And the Singapore men get their campaign on the road with a meeting against Cambodia, a side that they beat 83-67 the last time out in Singapore. It was in 2015 that they won their second bronze medal in a row, the first time they've ever won back-to-back medals at the SEA Games after ending a 34-year drought in 2013. So this perhaps the golden generation of Singapore ballers, and 5 on the roster of Franco Arsigo, the head coach of Singapore, are appearing in their 3rd Southeast Asian Games. Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia and Vietnam are in Group B with Singapore, and the main goal for these players in red is to top the group and avoid meeting the Philippines in the semi-finals. Indonesia look like hot favorites. They've already got off to a winning start, defeating Vietnam by 16 points earlier. The head coach of Cambodia is Nigerian Austin Kolodai, and he has a team filled with imports, especially from the USA. In fact, they have recruited pretty well 9 Cambodian Americans and 1 Cambodian Canadian in the roster, with the bulk of them coming from the city of Lowell in Massachusetts, which has the 2nd largest Cambodian population in the USA. So it's all set and ready to go for the tip-off of Singapore's first basketball game in the SEA Games of 2017. Cambodian starting 5, which includes, of course, William M, the number 5, and look out as well for Dominic Dar, the number 7 point guard. He was the top scorer against Singapore the last time these two sides met. Singapore have got a starting 5, which is all too familiar for all of you who follow Singapore basketball. Way back in 2015 games when they really treated the crowd to some exciting stuff, especially Russell Lowe, who has regained his starting place up front ahead of Delvin. It's Russell Lowe along with Larry Liu, Wong Wei Long. Delvin Goh as well gets a starting spot, and Ng Han Binh. So they've gone with the bigs against a Cambodian side that may be lacking in height but are very quick in terms of their ball movement. Tip-off in Singapore, as we'd expect, getting the basketball straight away with Wong Wei Long looking to attack as much as possible and looking to take advantage of the low post points. Wei Long's pass goes astray and it's a turnover straight away from Singapore. They need to cut those out in the early exchanges. A lot of that happened in Siba as well, recently, just 2 months back in the Philippines, where they didn't shoot too well at those championships. Early movement from William M. Cambodia get the opening basket of the match. 2 points on the deuce, and it is Sophine Thun playing in his 3rd SEA Games himself. So Cambodia get themselves on the board. Can Singapore respond? Wei Long yet again looking to dictate matters. 10 on the shot clock for him to take the shots now. Devlin trying to combine with Russell Lowe. Fresh 35 on the clock. Shot is heaved up, but a foul being called then on the Singapore number 15. That's Russell Lowe. Well, always have a hand on Delvin. Perhaps he was the one who's called for his first personal foul. The Cambodian shot, by the way, was a 3, is registered by the referee, who gave that little 3 fingers up to the scorer's bench. The Cambodians, as I said, moving the ball around very quickly and very, very convincingly. That one came off the board. Good rebound by Delvin. He's not known for his 3-ball shot. Russell Lowe trying to work it under the near post, underneath that basket, and gets the foul. So the Cambodians might be bullied in terms of the work in the paint. And Singapore need to get their scoring juices going right now. Han Binh, Wei Long once again, who's known for his 3-ball shot, although it went missing at the SEA Championships. The countdown is gone. He's attacking the rim. Delvin Goh. Does he get the foul as well, Russell? It will be Dune with his 2nd foul already in the ball game. It's not very good news indeed for Sophien Dune. He does get the basket and now has the chance and opportunity to make it a +1. So Singapore trying to get right back in the ball game. Foul throw is missed though by Russell. That's a 1-point lead for the Cambodians. Cut through the middle. They know they're going to get a lot of points and profit a lot under the basket. So because of that, it's their 3-ball shots that they're working on. And it's another one from deep downtown. Yet again, M with his second 3-pointer of the game. 4-point lead for the Cambodians. It's well worked, and he had a finger in his face as well, but he told Russell, get out of here. That one's mine. Splish splash, pump fakes going on from Singapore, and the fast break is on now for the Cambodians. Way outside, in space, is M looking for his third tray. Instead he gives it right out, and they go for another one. They've just been knocking them down out from outside the postal code at the moment, Cambodia. Traveling though, the call. But you can see it's a very mobile squad, the Cambodians, so it's not going to be an easy fixture. It's one of those banana skins that Asigo has to avoid in order for the team to qualify for the semi-finals all over again. Larry Liu, once again they work the inside paint, and the basket goes once again to Russell, who's got all of Singapore's points so far. Well, that's where they will dominate, and they look to dominate, and that's the reason why at every given opportunity they're trying to heave inside and hoist it inside to under the basket as soon as possible. Yet again, the Cambodians abandon that and trying to work on their outside shooting. This time though, it doesn't go for Pekmith. Is that a charging foul? No, it is a foul on the Cambodians. He thought that he had got his hands out of the way. But this man is a real beast when it comes to points and rebounds. Delvin Go. It's really a matter of whether he wants to turn on beast mode and when he wants to turn it on. First off, the free throws is good as the Cambodian coach looks on. Now this is his third SEA Games already. Kolidoi. 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe for Delvin. Penetrating in the rim, looking for that little hoist upside. Failed to get it to go though. Working it once again to Russell. First missed shots off the game for Russell Lowe. And just bullied out of it. Body put on him. Outside shot yet again from deep. Not going yet. A Singapore tip-off, and here's the fast break. The opportunity to take full advantage of it. It's Han Bin who dishes it out, and it's an easy basket. And all of a sudden, the Republic are in the lead by 2 points. Wide open shot, a wide open miss from Cambodia. It was pretty disappointing. An air ball as the little fast break then. Han Bin deciding to dish it out in the end. So Larry Liu gets his first basket of the game. Top scored against Cambodia the last time these two sides met, the two of them combining. Both of them with 15 points the last time. Larry Liu from way outside misses the 3-pointer. Rebound yet again by the boss of the boards. Delvin Go. Well, the last time they met, despite the fact that Singapore actually romped away with it, the Cambodians will be trying to take refuge and hope from their fourth quarter display when they outscored Singapore 18-10 then. But by then, of course, it was the game in the refrigerator already, and it was garbage time. It's perfect from the line so far. And that's 3 out of 3 for Delvin Go. Top rebounder at the SEBA Championships recently. 8.8 rebounds per game, his average. Lovely stroke by Delvin. He's just nailing it effortlessly from the charity stripe. 4-point lead now for Singapore. Slowly inching ahead and pulling away. That ball's just given away yet again. Third turnover of the game for Cambodia. Han Bin bouncing inside for Larry Liu. Easy, a kiss off the boards. And a kiss of a 6-point lead now. Well, they started slowly. They're getting right back into the groove of Cambodia. And their outside shooters are giving them some hope and keeping them alive. Sophie Toon with their third three-pointer of the game. It's back to a 3-point game. Larry Liu, little heave inside, looking for Delvin, trying to take advantage of his height. That little behemoth who goes right back to the free throw line once again. And he'll be happy with the way that he's knocking down his free throws of his constant visits. It's the third foul already for Sophie Toon. So they will rest him. It's Delvin with his first miss of the ball game from the free throw line. It's 4 out of 4 before he took that shot. I said that stroke's looking pretty good at the moment. A little flick of the wrist, and that was the stroke that we were looking at in the first 4 free throws. 13-9, Singapore lead, heading into the final 5 minutes of the first quarter. Cambodia trying to get a lot more penetration now in the paints, which they didn't do in the first place, attacking it, trying to get it off the boards, but Singapore bigs are doing their work at the moment down low. It's almost a free throw, attacking it. Offensive foul though, Russell Lowe. Little handoff on the Cambodian, which was spotted by the referee. There we go. And give credit as well to Sophie Toon because he stood his ground and got himself out of the way and sacrificed himself for the team in order for an offensive foul to be called on Russell. First foul of the game for him. And first trip to the free throw line for Cambodia. It's a great penetration work that time from Pickmith. Takes a lot of guts to actually try to cut right inside the heart of the Singapore team and attack both Russell and Delvin. Sometimes those twin towers right in front of you can be a real intimidating sight. So Pickmith actually took his chances, took his opportunity, and now has that chance to continue his goal-scoring streak against Singapore. Last time they met, he scored 20 points. There we go. It's their first trip to the free throw line, and it's 2 out of 2 for Pickmith. Mitchell Falkoff replacing Russell Lowe for his first taste of action from the 2017 games. Wong Wei Long, we've seen already turn over the ball once, but protecting the ball a lot better. That's him from the 3-point range. Usually can be very lethal from it once he gets his hot hand going. He's a player who needs streaks though, as Ng Han Bin grabs another rebound. They totally out-rebounded the Cambodians so far in this game, as we'd expect. Well, they've all gone inside thinking that Singapore is going to throw inside to one of their bigs, and Wong Wei Lung's been way outside at the moment. Finally, he is picked up. It was a very poor pass in the end, which was almost stripped away. Larry Liu attacks the basket, doesn't get it. Delvin, though, boss of the boards. Another one for Singapore's top scorer. Hand and face. Good enough pressure from Wei Lung. Fast break. 2 points, Larry Liu. Another rebound for the Singapore side. Wei Lung already 1 assist in this game. That last one to Larry Liu. Falkoff back to Wei Lung. Larry Liu is open on the wide side and over down the flanks. Falkoff can get it to him. It finally do, but there is pressure. 7 to shoot on the shot clock. It finally does go. A little fadeaway attempt by Delvin. Larry takes contact to Wei Long. Still doesn't get it to fall from outside. Falkoff, big rebound. Delvin keeps it alive. Wong Wei Long. Larry Liu now with his opportunity from the 3-pointer. First to fall for Singapore from outside. And it goes to Larry. 10.2 points per game at the SEABA Championships for Larry Liu. He was Singapore's top player in terms of conversions from the field. He's had an offensive foul. Well, Delvin says he didn't move at all and planted himself and cemented himself on the floor. He had every reason to feel aggrieved, but I think the foul was called on the Singapore player just behind. And after Han Bin planted himself on the floor, the referee deemed that he was on the move, and that's going to be 2 free throws for Cambodia. Maybe 1, because that point will count 2 points, and 1 to make it a 3-point play as the Cambodians call for a timeout.
When they seal this right here, they're looking to get here and they lob it over. This person needs to front move. Guys, shot goes up. People on the bench, talk. Like, hey, get in front of them, box them out. You guys understand? It's a concerted effort. We can't just look at the ball. We get killed on the boards, y'all. When the shot goes up, don't everyone look up. Everyone just hit the body. If you have to pinch, I'm going to pinch you with the middle. I'm going to pinch you with the middle with you all the time. 117.
Ball at the front, try and freeze a man and then pitch to the wing. Okay, you got that? Leon, try and work the foul line. Move off behind the zone and come into the gap. If he steps out, you got another look inside. Be confident, the ball reversal will get you open shots. Got it? Good job, Larry.
Just a sign of confidence. Singapore need to take advantage of their open shots and maybe even get it out. Now that they've already got their first 3 of the match from Larry Liu, perhaps the outside shooters might want to get involved a lot more in this game and give them a more varied attacking mode as opposed to just lobbing it inside. So a 3-point play completed. 6-point game now. Cambodia not out of it yet. The ball that's played inside once again. Cambodia this time managing to scramble it away only momentarily. Delvin couldn't get it to fall. Continues attacking it. And he goes once again back to the free throw line. Well, he went into a 16 years old. He was dubbed the Wonder Kid, the next big thing in Singapore basketball. And I think this year, in 2017 especially, we've seen him mature a lot more. And he knows he's going to get a lot of chances from the free throw line. That's the reason why these visits have to be profitable. At the moment, he is renting a home at that charity stripe from Cambodia. 2 out of 2 yet again. He's just missed 1 free throw in this match. Protecting the paint well enough. Rejected. Delvin says, get out of here. A little pump fake move. Basket doesn't fall though. It's those situations they need to take full advantage of. Fast breakers on it to get it wide open for the 3 from outside the post. Still cold. Nothing but net. Cambodia are living and breathing on the 3-pointers. Dominic Dar, the latest to score a triple. 50% from 3-point range for Cambodia. Volkov with a J. Doesn't get it to fall, but yet again on the board. Singaporeans just getting into each other's way more than anything else. As the Cambodians come away with it. Picknett attack on the basket. Took some bravery, took some guts. Takes the 2 as well. Tommy Cheer getting the deuce. Minute and a half left. The lead whittled down to 3 for Singapore. Yet again they go inside, and yet again there's the open man in Delvin. Well found that time. He's always going to be hugging touchline. They're sharing the ball a lot better than the Cambodians, who are trying their very best to outscore Singapore because they found their shooting range very early in this match. And Delvin has been stripped outside a lot more, despite the fact that he's a center, but he's trying to get that Cambodian big to go outside with him to open the space up so that players like Leon Kwek can take full advantage of it by attacking the paint. That he did. It's a turnover yet again, stolen by Delvin, who then gives the ball away. Goaltending, I guess the referee calls it. Well, in the first quarter, Delvin Go has turned on beast mode. The Cambodians are finding it so hard to live with him. Cambodians are saying that they need the point on the board. It has finally been recorded and computed. Raj with his first piece of action is to miss the basket and then get his own rebound. Come on for Delvin. Shot from way outside was always going to be shot short. Knew it from the moment they left him. Leon Kwek. Oh, and the Cambodians will somehow get it back to within sniffing distance against Singapore in the final 15 seconds of this first quarter. Seago really need his players to start scoring, especially from outside. They have been doing well in the paint, as we'd expect. The size difference between these two sides, they have dominated. They haven't been nailing those shots from outside. Not just the three, those outside jumpers are not going in yet for Singapore. And the Cambodians in the first quarter, the way they started it with a three-pointer, they're looking for the outside shot and the three shots, and they get it! Yet again, Sophine Thun with the buzzer beater, and Cambodia have dropped it back to a two-point ball game at the end of the first quarter. 26-24, Singapore lead.
Let's go, ball up. Hey, ball up, good job. Hey, keep playing defense, let's go, keep going. Same thing they are. Let's go, keep running. Run. They do not want to run, Bill. Nope. Good kick, Dom. Great kick, Dom. No, ball goes here, ball goes here. If this person, if they reverse it, and ball goes in, he's hitting up. Dom, Tommy, hit him, tell him to drop. All right, then it's weak side to cover the ball. We're either not covering this or we're not covering the ball. It's fucking us up. We need to cover both. All right, we can't leave this. When y'all don't do that, they leave, and then it leads to drop-offs. We need to make that happen.
Hey, well, what I see too is that they're slow. So
yes,
you want you attack them. We're gonna stick it in. We'll keep kicking it. Let's keep kicking it out.
Princeton.
Welcome back to the second quarter at the Maba Stadium for Singapore versus Cambodia, the first match of the 2017 SEA Games basketball tournament for the Cages in red. 2-point lead against the Cambodians in the first quarter. This despite dominating the paint, where they outscored the Cambodians 14-5, and they out-rebounded the Cambodians, getting 10 more rebounds than the team in white. Volkov trying to penetrate early on, one way long with a shot from outside, just doesn't get it to go. They've been ice cold at the moment, Singapore, and that's the reason why they're trying to congest the paint at the moment, Cambodia, for the start of the second quarter. Just told by their coach to make sure that they kick it out to their outside shooters who are just not nailing it for the time being. Great defensive work, helping the helper out. Singapore come away with it. Looking for the fast break. Totally rejected. Slapped out into obscurity by Sophine Thun, the player of the first quarter for Cambodia. Oh, he loves it. He loves it. Singapore ball though. Wei Long once again, this time declines the shot. It's Russell Lowe doing his work down low and getting an easy two. Yet again they go for the outside shot. Once again Singapore getting the rebound. Has been the story of the game thus far. Forkoff. They have just been declining to take the invitation to take the outside shot, and Cambodia trying to make themselves as crowded as possible, as compact as possible in the paint. But still though, the Singaporeans are getting the rolls. Russell Lowe with his second basket of the second quarter. Lead back up to 6 points. Well, he throws up a prayer that time. Cambodian. Sophine Jun doesn't get anything but rim, doesn't get the blessings of the rim. Forkoff penetrating inside, just dishing out instead of going for the floater or a teardrop. I don't think his teammates then, just Leon Chia was expecting the pass to be bounced inside to him. Zhang gets his first foul of the ball game, and the beast has returned. Delvin has got so little rest time so far in this match, but he has been the most fearsome thing on court. Well, he's got net, but the outside of it was way short on that three-point attempt. Well, after a while, they're going to get tired. Those three-pointers are not going to fall, so they need to come up with an option B. Cambodia, if they're going to keep themselves alive in this match. Three-pointer for Singapore hasn't fallen yet. Only one of them has, but the rebounds have been pretty good so far. Russell Lowe, 3 rebounds already in that process. A nice, easy putback. And the biggest lead of the ball game for Singapore. An 8-point difference from Cambodia, who haven't been able to make the shots yet in this second quarter. Haven't been able to find the open man. They've got 5 to shoot on the short clock. This one's taken from way outside. Not enough elevation and shape on that ball. Wong Wei Long leading the pass break and the breakaway. Offensive foul though on Wei Long. Really not having a game for him to remember 2 days after his 29th birthday. Seago actually oversaw the development of players like Wong Wei Long when he took charge of the Singapore Slingers back in the 09-10 season. Got the team to the semi-finals of the ASEAN Basketball League campaign that season. And finally the open shots and the fade away did not go that time. A lovely steal that time from Cambodia just to keep it alive. And the steal back from Singapore. Good work by Forkoff, not giving up that opportunity after giving it away in the first place. Forkoff attacking it, a little too hard, too much. Devlin though, once again, gets the board and the basket. Bounce pass was good, working on the pick and roll for the first time in Cambodia. Hickmith with their first points of the second quarter. Forkoff. Devin trying that little baby hook after going out of room in the basket, but picks up his own rebound. Forkoff with the J and his first points of the game. 10-point lead, matching the largest lead of the ball game. Open shots, and boy, have they lived on that. William M with his first triple of the match, and Cambodia's first in the second quarter. Forkoff, player right outside. Space is Wei Long. Finally, Wong Wei Long gets to the ball from downtown, and his first 3 of the game to bring it right back to a 10-point margin. All the ball movement is outside. All the ball movement inside as well, as soon as to create space to throw it out. This time the attack on the rim was a very good one. against the Singapore side that have protected it with all their might and all the jealousy in the world. Toon Sophien gets the basket. It's going to be a foul on Delvin. Haven't seen enough of this from the Cambodians. Time getting the roll. It's timeout to Singapore with this 8-point lead, and Delvin Go leading all scorers in the ball game.
Listen. Alright, our biggest problem at the moment is we've got to quickly decide who we're matching up on.
Finish better. It's because they have more possessions.
Yep.
They have way more possessions than us. We got a box. Alright? Bump this dive. Trust that that's a bump. Trust that bump that got that bump. Take here. Right? Take here. This person gets inside position. Box. Alright? It's all about the help of the ball. Lean back. Let's go. Yeah.
13 points, Sophien Toon leading the Cambodians. How about that for his 3-point field goal percentage? 3 out of 3 from everything that he's thrown up so far from outside. It has gone in. Outside shooting performance from him has been very good. And the inside game of this man coming up to take the free throw has been outstanding. Just his second miss from the charity stripe. Tried to make full use of the board then. So was always heaving up a prayer more than anything else. The Cambodians need to keep the ball a lot longer and get more movement because their mobility has been good so far. Maybe it's tiring the players out a little bit now. Handin back in the ball game. Russell Lowe gets the movement. And it's a sweet J from Larry Liu. Got himself open, turned around and had the confidence to take that shot. And hopefully that develops into a very hot hand for Larry. Well, they've abandoned everything in the paint in order to come out because they know the Cambodians are going for 3. That time he gets the romantic kiss from the rim and in. Another 3-pointer for William M. After going ice cold in the first quarter, he's got 2 out of 2 in the second. Larry Liu doesn't get the same romantic kiss from the rim. Another 3-pointer gone down the drain for Singapore. Oh, that little teardrop failed to drop. Just dictating matches at the moment. Larry Liu taking over Bong Wei Long as the point guard. It's a Cambodia ball. Another turnover by Singapore. Their 3rd of the game. They have protected it well enough after giving it away early on in the match. And first piece of action now for Lim Jin Yuan taking the place of Russell Lowe. So they have sacrificed a big for a point guard, perhaps for more better control against the Cambodians, Tommy Cha. I think this is more a defensive situation and substitution more than anything else. That's exactly what Jin Yuan has done. Make sure that he keeps pace. There were runners. Open 3, failed to go, the tip-in does. William M. marks his spot. And then Larry Liu kicks it outside. Still though, the confidence is not there yet for Singapore to take the 3. Fast break is on, it's 2-on-1 break at the moment. Decides to go coast to coast. Doesn't take advantage of it, but it will be a foul called against Singapore on Sophien Toon. And Han Bin picks up his second.
Singapore. Timeout, Singapore.
Now Seago's seen enough. He's going to call the timeout. Get some semblance back into the organization, because what was once a 10-point lead is in danger of being whittled down now to 4.
Right? We're still playing against the zone, and all we're doing is running overload. What we need to go back to is just go back to normal. Just run back to normal, right? And get one of you guys, you play on the perimeter, you play at the 4, right? Which means you're the one getting to the foul line area and make you move.
This is Fresno right here. Peck here. Who's out fifth right now? Dom.
Bunny or Dom? Bunny has 2 free throws. Bunny's
Peck's coming in for Bunny.
Bunny's shooting.
So this is Dom right here. All right, hand it off, back screen, waited, boom, so come up. All right, this unless Peck is wide open, hit so. All right, because they're coming hard.
I need some stuff. Shot fake. 1, 2, 3.
So all the movement from the Cambodians have been done on the outside. Players just moving about and trying to get players like Delvin out of the paint. 14 points, 8 rebounds, leading all scores. 2 blocks as well for Delvin. What has been a monstrous game for him. 2 rebounds away from a double-double. But the Cambodians now with an opportunity to make this a 4-point ball game. With Sofyun Jun from the free throw line. Misses the first though. Not going to get a lot of second chance points against this very big Singapore side. So free throws imperative. They need to take advantage of it. You're going to find that they're not going to get to the line pretty often either, because they're not attacking the rim. Brave move, almost get out of the way because I'm coming here, and talking about coming home, coast to coast, doesn't get the roll. Singapore survives, so too Cambodia. Decide to hold it up a little bit. Han Bin now, who is known to shoot a 3-ball, but he was ice cold in the Philippines at the SEABA Championships as well. Delvin, impetus of the attack almost gone. They've got 5 on the shot clock to take the shot, and this one does come out. The hands of Jin Yen, picks up his own rebound, dishes it yet again. Outside shooting is totally cold from Singapore. Because of the work of the bigs, they had loads of second chance points.
Substitution, Singapore.
Jin Yen trying to orchestrate matters and pull the strings. Han Bin kicks it out. They decline on taking the 3 once again, deciding to do all the work inside. They've asked for traveling, and it is acceded by the officials. It will be traveling on Singapore. Oh, he had a lot of players open for the 3 on the outside, and he decided to kick it out, but he went right into traffic and into trouble. Cambodia once again, a lot of the movement now down in the post. Looking to get the Singapore players to protect the paint and leave players outside open for the 3-point shots, which they have done much better than the Singaporeans in this match. It's almost open for the 3, yet again doesn't take it. Jin Yen doesn't take the 3 either. Nice little spin turn move all the way outside. Larry Liu rejected right in his face. A scramble for the ball. Is this going to be a jump ball? I think it is. Well, he's come up with 2 big blocks in this match already, Sofyun Jun. Jin Yen tried to attack it, and then Larry decided to get involved after having a slap on his face for the second time in this match. This time it was a literal one. Both teams haven't scored in the last minute and a half. 36-42. Singapore in the lead as we approach the final 56 seconds of the half. Sophine. Great movement off the ball. Well, the bench has asked for a flagrant. So I think Hanbin was just a little overzealous in trying to knock the ball off Pekmith. It wasn't Hanbin actually. It was Leon Chia. Situations look a lot worse. Instant replay. No flagrants, just call for the foul. As I said, the Cambodians need to take advantage of it every time they step into the free throw line. They can't be missing free throws in this match. That's another one gone down the drain from Pekmith. Well, he's just been knocking down 3 from outside, and somehow no pressure on his face. Couldn't get the first one to go, but does get the second. It's almost a second string squad out there for Singapore at the moment. And Hanbin open, takes the 3, gets it. Oh, little hook and improvisation from Cambodia. Didn't work that time. Singapore will take the final shot of the half. Hanbin calms things down at the moment because the shot clock has been turned off. Jim Yen, Hanbin trying for his second consecutive 3, doesn't get it to fall, and that will be the half. Singapore leading by 8 points against a gallant Cambodian team.
Over Cambodia, 45 to 37.
Hey, stay here.
start off with knife, right? Start behind, dribble to the side, right? Make your normal action, and then make sure that we come on the inside. No on-ball screens. Post up and split the foul line. That's where we want to get the action going. Right? We got that? Yeah. Now next thing, when you catch the rebound, don't try and finish on the kick. Down and balance yourself, shot fake, and then go up and finish. Got that?
Cambodia and Singapore. Let's put our hands together for both of these teams. Come on, guys.
Welcome back to the second half at the BA Stadium here in Kuala Lumpur for Singapore's opening match of the basketball tournament in the 29th SEA Games against Cambodia. Well, they won the first quarter by 2 points and then the second quarter by 6 points. It's an 8-point lead, 45-37 at the moment. Both teams did not shoot well in that second quarter. Singapore hasn't shot well at all from the outside, but they have dominated from the inside. In the first half stats, they don't lie. First shots from the outside, once again it's an air ball. They don't get the rim, and because of that, the shot clock remains. It's trying to attack on the inside, and it will be a foul called. Dominic Dar trying his very best to rescue the situation and falling into the Singapore bench. And falling into Singapore bodies has been the story of the game thus far for Cambodia. It's part of the action of basketball, isn't it? Why a lot of people love this game. It's up close, it's personal at times. First points of the second half, hoping to be scored from the free throw line. Is it going to be? No. Well, he actually went there, Larry Liu, thinking that he was going to get 2 free attempts at the basket, but instead it's being called out, and it's just 5 seconds on the shot clock now for Singapore to make this count. Once again, player on the outside, if they decide to heave the ball. Got to take the shot very early though. It's a fresh shot clock that's been called on. Russell once again does his work down low, gets a shot off before the buzzer. It doesn't get it to go. Cambodians have exhausted themselves trying to keep up physically with the Singaporean side. And this time, a little fade away. Not able to get it to go. Wong Wei Long has only made 1 shot from the outside, a 3-pointer in this game. And he get his shooting hand going. Han Bin, kick ball, Singapore ball.
Kick ball will be Singapore ball on the side.
Wei Long asking for the screen. He gets it. Larry trying to use the board for the J, and once again they dominate to the board. And Delvin stuffs it right back in, leading all scorers in the game with his 18th point. Little pump fake move. It's pretty good so far. And once they get inside, they're going to be dominated. At that moment, Cambodia somehow get the basketball and get the basket. This man has been red hot. Delvin looking to work Russell into the game. Once again, they're working on the Twin Towers, trying to dominate. Wong Wei Long from outside. Ooh, he almost had a 4-point play. It was ill-advised from Dominic Dar to come right out on him. But Wei Long was brave enough to actually take contact from that situation, and he will go to the line to shoot 3. Ice call from the SEBA Championships that has cascaded down to this as well. 83% from the free throw line. The SEBA champs, he's missed the first, he's got the second. Well, when he gets his streak going, usually Singapore are quite unstoppable because they always have that option of kicking it to the outside. Hasn't got that yet in KL. But they've got the rebound. Larry Liu, Han Bin finished off the half with a 3. Wei Long with another attempt for the 3 this time. He gets it going. Money from 3-point range. Wong Wei Long finally nailing it down. Can the Cambodians answer right back? Oh, yes they do. The roll, the blessings of the rim gets it going then for Sufin Jun. Keeping themselves alive and in the hunt The work of Delvin once again to kick it out to Wei Long. He'll always be free once Delvin does his work inside. Delvin does his work at the paint and does it so very well. The GOH has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Forced to take it from the outside. He was so hot in that first quarter. Picknett misses his latest jumper. Larry Liu, little pump fake the pass, attacks the rim, couldn't get it to fall.
Number 15, Singapore, Russell Lowe.
It's an offensive foul called on Russell as well. He's picked up his second. The biggest lead of the ball game for Singapore, 11 points. And once again, Cambodia trying to take advantage of their movement of the ball to get the open man for the three-pointer. Boy, have they been nailing it. 7 out of 15 in that first half. They've started this half 2 out of 3. Han Bin though, with a chance for the three, misses it completely. Well plucked out of the air by Russell. Delvin, Han Bin with another opportunity for the three. Yet again he misses it. Russell though picks up the rebound. The Singaporeans have dominated in the paint. 24-10. Points scored in the paint in that first quarter. Difference of 20 rebounds in that first half. He's taken that shot early because he knew the stroke was there. Larry Liu.
Larry Liu.
Nice little bunny hop inside. So couldn't finish it. Too close to the basket then. Larry Liu, Wei Long, now he is getting hot. Second three-pointer in a row establishes the biggest lead of the ball game for Singapore, 59-45. Cambodia trying to answer right back, failed to do so, and once again there isn't a player in white in the paint. Wei Long handled that ball brilliantly. Superb hands from him. Han Bin knows that he can throw anything up because Russell is there to gobble it. And wide open for the three. Cambodians getting tired now from all the action of shooting threes from early on in this game. And that's another missed opportunity as Fokov checks back into the ball game for Singapore. In place of Russell, who's given limited minutes in this tournament, trying to rest him as much as possible. Remember, it's their meeting against Indonesia that might determine who tops this group. The next match is against Laos tomorrow. Wide open for the three. Larry misses it. Delvin grabs another rebound, now one shy of a double-double. Wong Wei Long, 3 in a row, 4 in a row from Wong Wei Long. Well, that's exactly what we're saying. When he heats up, no one can cool him down. Wide open for the three, Larry Liu. Fails to get it to go. Chance for the fast break. Trying to use the body of Wei Long in order to cushion himself for that easy two. Yet again though, they're missing easy baskets. 19 points now. The difference. Singapore have found their scoring touch in this third quarter. Han Bin. Everybody expected him to go for the baby hook and try for that little basket. Instead he wanted to set it up for Delvin. Cambodia called for a timeout as Singapore are about to introduce Jonathan Chook into the ball game for the first time.
Fellas, come down. I don't care who it is. Soap is getting the handoff. We're going right into Celtics every single time. But that's not the problem. The problem is we gave up on defense. Yes. We're not closing anyone out. Close them off.
Running knife, which means that you two boys, remember, on that defense, we want that position first. Okay? So one of you will go down to here and one of us will start there on the inside. Like that, Jonathan? Right? And the idea is read that situation. If he goes on the outside, you might get a pass. If he's on the inside, you might want to dribble to the wing and send him around. But the end, we want to catch in there, Jonathan. We want to catch in there. Same with you.
It has been a very good start of the second half for Singapore, especially that man Wong Wei Long, who's come right out of the refrigerator and thawed himself into form. 13 points, 10 of them scored in this half alone, in this quarter alone. And the Cambodians trying to work on their defense in the second half, which has left a lot of players exposed and open for the three-pointer. But they have dropped to their heads in terms of their offensive play as well. Haven't been as fluid as what we've seen in the first half. Long arcing shots from Fokov for the three. The Cambodians will get the ball. The last came off Han Bin. Another one of those players that Singapore need to get hot because can be a real sight when he's taking those open jump shots, as we've seen already in the ASEAN Basketball League. Singapore, the slingers, especially getting to the finals on the last two occasions in the ABL. Leon Quick returns to the ball game, and Wei Long gets a rest. Just to cotton wool that shooting hand of his, which has been very, very hot in the second half. Yes, Cambodia finally get one to fall. Sophie Toon, yet again, they've asked for them to crowd everybody out and make sure that they block the runners in order for him to get a free shot. So that wasn't a free shot, but he still nailed it. Han Bin replies from downtown. We did talk about him, and what a sight he is when he's taking those shots. Stolen away, Cambodia get the ball back. Toon keeps it alive. They're looking for the outside shot. And once again, the paint is protected well enough, but the outside shot does come in. Long rebound picked up by Cambodia. Easy J. Sophie Toon. Han Bin finds Fokov, the open man. That's a long attempt, and it's gone in as well. Everything that the GOH has attempted has gone in. Peckmith open for the layup. Enough of a body on him to make sure it wasn't an easy one. Delvin got possession of the ball, and I think it was a slip more than anything else from the Cambodians. Nothing malicious in that. It will be Singapore ball.
Pushing foul on Cambodia.
Second personal foul for Tommy Chia from Cambodia, and it really was a slip on the hardwood. Russell Lowe getting ready to check back into the ball game, and he will take the place of the red hot Delvin Go. Remember, just one rebound shy of a double-double. Russell himself on double-double watch, so already in double digits in terms of points. just 3 rebounds short of that golden double figure. Jonathan, Russell, and yet again, every given opportunity, looking to attack. Has an opportunity for 3-point play. Sophie Doon called for his 4th personal foul. He is in foul trouble now. Russell Lowe completes the +1. Handled the ball well enough, Cambodia dishing it, and the runners are good enough there. Movement was absolutely perfect. Finished off by the red-hot Pickmith. Volkov. Hanbin, back to Russell, dominating the paint. This time, no one in white put a hand up or put any resistance on Russell. And the screen was good enough, so then the foul called on Volkov, who tried to retrieve that situation. Inside the final 55 seconds of the 3rd quarter, a 3rd quarter which has been so profitable for Singapore. Pickmith moving the ball, but there's always pressure. Volkov that time did his defensive diligence and went head-to-head with his opponents. 3 is on, not taken though. Rebound Singapore. Russell Lowe to Jonathan. He says, calm down, let's get the movement off the ball now. They found Russell yet again inside the paint. Just down low, Russell Lowe gets low when the whistle blows. Another 2 points, building a 24-point lead now. $16-point difference in this quarter alone. Pickmith heaving up a prayer. Doesn't get it to fall, and that is a magnificent 3rd quarter for Singapore, winning it by 16 points, and they've established a very healthy lead going into the 4th against Cambodia, 76-52.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Singapore lead.
Welcome back to the MABA as the Malaysian crowd. We've just seen their women's team win earlier on. Continue to pile in. The men's team are in action a little later. Singapore's women's team in action against the Philippines in this evening's fixtures too. On the first day of basketball competition. And here the men's side have got themselves a healthy enough lead against Cambodia. Ng Han Bin with an easy layup. Riding an early fourth quarter storm from the Cambodians. They committed so many forward that Han Bin just stayed up there. Was so confident that his side are going to take down the rebound anyway. That they have been doing. Remember, their arch rivals Indonesia have already won in their opening match, so Singapore trying their very best to stick along with it and stay with it. 89-73, the Indonesians won against Vietnam. So the Singapore side are trying to rack up the points in this match against Cambodia. They've got Laos next, then the Indonesians, and then Vietnam. They should qualify from this group, but remember they need to win in order to avoid the mighty Philippines in the semi-finals. And that, of course, might be decided in that game against Indonesia, whom they lost to at the SEABA Championships. Wide open, no resistance at all, and managing to get the roll. Leon Kwek. His first points since the first quarter. Well, it might be garbage time pretty soon, and time for Asigo to clear his bench and introduce a few of the younger players like Levin Raj to come in and play the rest of the game. It's a long, long three. It didn't go. Still, they kick it outside. And once you give enough opportunities, you would take at least one of them. Sofin with his first basket and first points of the fourth quarter. Han Bin looking for the rotation and movement. They've set themselves free for Russell. Lovely spin, turn and dish out as well. Well, he was invited to dinner, and Leon Kwek has asked the referee whether he could bring a +1, and the referee says yes, you can. All thanks to that no-look pass from Russell, and the opportunity now to bring the partner for dinner. Well, he just declines to bring that partner. And back comes Singapore though, because once again they grabbed another rebound. Totally out-rebounded the Cambodian side in this game. It's a lovely heave up. Hook was good as well from Dominic Dar. Haven't seen him much as an offensive force. He's been doing so much work on defense, trying to curb the runner and the kickball to the outside. Russell doing his work down low once again. They just can't live with the physicality of the Singapore centers. And Russell returns to the charity stripe.
Substitution for Singapore.
Delvin returns to the ball game. So too Larry Liu. As I said, Delvin just one rebound short of a double-double. Has been a big, big performance from him, especially in that first quarter. He has totally out-muscled and bullied this Cambodian team. Jonathan found by Han Bin. Tried to look for the open runner inside. Delvin shows that he's got a touch from the outside too this time though. Just a little short. Cambodians have a free man for that three, and they take full advantage of it. Tommy Chia left wide open and forces the punishment. The spin turn was good enough, but the referee has called for an offensive foul on Larry. So a little tug then. William M. returns to the ball game as Singapore make a substitution themselves, and it might be rest time for Ng Han Bin. We see Raj as well getting ready to come on for his first piece of action since the end of the first quarter. Big center, 2 meters of him taking the place of Zelvin. He seems to be limping and walking out gingerly, which might be a worry for Singapore. It just might be rest time for the Singaporeans, and a lot of them. Traveling. All the Cambodians. The Rajman is on, and he is a real big ticket, isn't he? Right up there. You're not gonna get past this barrier. Larry Liu looking for the open shot and finds the open lane and finds the deuce. Picknett. That was rejected with authority. Picknett has gone down. Foul call though on John Ng. Well, the start list here actually has Ng Han Bin as number 9, but we know that's not Ng Han Bin. That is John Ng. He's just gone right into the face of Picknett and totally got him out of school. And he was almost expelled then. Picknett will have to take a break and heal the wounds of what has been a very brave performance by him. Top scorer in this Cambodian side. He's been knocking down threes, especially in the first half. Found the going a lot tougher in the third quarter. And he didn't get the open looks that he did in the first. Singapore clamping down on defense a lot more in that third quarter. And really racking up the points by finding the scoring touch as well. It's the Cambodians' first attempt at free throws since the end of the first half. And they get 2 out of 2. Raj strong enough into the old post. And there was a double step in. Call on traveling. On Singapore's Leon Kwek. Open for the 3. Raj was right in front of his face and decided not to take any of it in case Raj decided to just spring up. The pass though was a little loose and lax. Leon couldn't keep it in play. Tommy Chia has found his 3 zone and 3 range from an earlier attempt. Looking to get the kick from the outside once again, this time way short with a 3. It's Fatana. Sophie Chun. Remember, Myth Peck top scored against Singapore at the last SEA Games with 20 points. He's top scored again against Singapore in this match. 15 of his points came in that first half, but not much success in the second. And Jonathan tried to get a continuation for a three-point play. And he will go to the foul line to shoot two. Gets his first point of the 2017 SEA Games with that attempt. Long three from Chia yet again. Raj pulls down the rebound. Oh, there's an open man for a longest while. Leon couldn't take full advantage of it. Raj has gone below once again to bully this Cambodian backline. To reach and foul. Now Tommy Chia picks up his third. It's time for the Cambodians themselves to clear the bench. Ho comes on for William M. A veteran of 3 SEA Games now. Well, they did pretty well at the last SEA Games, Cambodia in 2015, finishing in 6th position, their best finish. They won 2 games in Singapore in 2015, which is as many as they won in their first 3 tournaments combined.
That's how you get your shots up. Right, if you're just catching and waiting for things to happen, it's too late. Rightio. Okay, what we'll do now, if we can, all right, let's move into something that helps Lavin. All right, let's see if we can get some inside touches for Lavin, all right, to ice the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to run hand. Right, we're going to run hand. With Leon, you're playing up here, right? Lavin, you'll always be there like this, right? Okay, so our objective is if we kick the ball, right, whichever way we go, we just, if we go this way, right, we roll. And then Lavin...
So having a look at team leaders and what was given us as a stat in the third quarter was perhaps the wrong stat. I can tell you that Delvin Goh has achieved his double-double in this match. 15 rebounds to lead all teams. Open 3, not taken advantage of that time by John Ng. Trying to control the basketball and trying to control the pace of the game. Oh, almost had his pocket picked. That time Larry Liu by a very pesky Tommy Chia. Lavin Raj has got himself on the outside. Back he goes inside the paint again, and Singapore trying to get the ball and lob it inside of him. And there they go through that route of Lavin Raj. Not the best of passes from him. Turnover from Raj. Good steal. Cambodia come back. It's 2-on-1. Take too long though to make that decision for the pass. It was an ill-advised pass as well out to Orr. It wasn't the best of passes from him. Back into Dominic Dar. Dar does find the open man now for the J. Doesn't get it to go. Sophie Toon leading all scores with 23. Tried to back it as much as possible. Use his body to good effect. Then Leon couldn't find the scoring touch. Still a 23-point lead going into the final 3 minutes of the game for Singapore, as Cambodia introduces Daniel Mays, playing in his very first SEA Games, seeing SEA Games action for the very first time. one of 9 Cambodian Americans recruited to the squad. Singapore's Lim Chin Yen returns to the hardwood in place of Jonathan for his first piece of action since the half. A little falter failed to go. Raj was big enough to bully, but just couldn't keep that rebound, keep the arc of the ball blocked right down there by the big 2-meter, 17-year-old Lavin Raj. The SEAWA Championships, he actually came on for Delvin. Ball's lobbed up to him. Is that a continuation? Does he get it to fall with a chance on the free throw? As I said, at the SEAWA Championships, he came on for Delvin in the game against Myanmar. Lavin Raj scored 19 points, the most by a Singaporean in a single game at the SEAWA Championships. He was knocking down free throws as well, just like he did there. 10 shy of the century for Singapore. Cambodians not giving up on that yet. And Raj picks up his first foul. It's a brave move, filled with a lot of heart and steel, just trying to cut through that big Singapore backline to find the easy layup. And after all that, Sofani misses the first free throw and the second. Raj, as we'd expect, pulls down rebound. Chin Yen. Leon looking the work inside. The ball's lost though, Daniel Mears. Couldn't cradle it enough and protect it like he would with his firstborn.
Substitution for Singapore. Number 4,
So Larry Liu comes out, and Jonathan Chiok looks most likely to finish off the last 2 minutes of this ball game. Daniel Mears looking for the open jumper, failed to find it. All the three-point specialists are on the bench now for Cambodia. Here's Mears, fade away, nothing but air. Chin Yen looking to attack the paint. Raj now with an easy basket. Off the board and in. The Raj man with his 5th point of the ball game. Look at that total domination, isn't it? 28 points, the difference between Cambodia and Singapore in the paint. The bigs have turned up, and the bigs have done the job for Singapore in this match. Nice little passover move from Hon. Little easy break on. Was called.
Number 10, Leon Quek.
And Leon Quek has an opportunity for a 3-point play. It was really out of pure frustration that Warpick has reached in and tried to slap it out, almost slapping the face of Leon Quek. He tried to marshal himself to his favorite right hand for an easy basket and easy layup. Here's a chance for a 3-point play, which is taken. 95-64, 31 points. Who would have thought that after the first quarter? There was only a 2-point difference between these two teams. call from him. The shot clock can be turned off now because it's the final 15 seconds, and I'm sure Singapore will play this out and they'll start shaking hands already as the game has been iced, especially from the third quarter onwards. Well, the Singapore Bigs turned up in this match and they took full advantage of their height advantage against Cambodia. Players like Delvin and Russell did their job down low, especially in that first quarter when their shooters were ice cold and couldn't find their strokes. And then in the second half, at the start of the second half, the likes of Wong Wei Lung and Ng Han Bin started knocking down their three balls, and because of that, Singapore brought their lead to a healthy one and ended up with a 31-point victory against Cambodia. Their quest for their third semi-final in a row has gotten off to a great start with its victory against Cambodia in their opening game.
Remember, you know we're going to get this done together, right? Everyone pitches in. It took a little while to get some things going, but once you got going, you looked nice. People who came off the bench to finish the game, nice job.